Hello everyone. In the last lecture, we have seen what are half angle formulae and also we have solved examples based on that. And today we are going to look inverse trigonometric functions. So let's check this. First we will consider the function from a to b, which is 1 1 and on to. So this is a set, this is b set, and this is function f, and here every element is associated with its image. So this is called as domain and this is called as range. And since this function is 1 1 and onto, there exists inverse function which is denoted by f inverse from b to a. So I am writing here b to a, and so we have, check now, first this function is f inverse, and since this is 1 1 and onto, so this also function exists, and this is called as the domain of f inverse, and this is called as the range of f inverse. So we can understand a set, this is domain of function f, which is range of f inverse, and this b set, which is a range of f, is domain of f inverse. So if I'll take function as y is equal to sin x, or if I'll take trigonometric ratio cos x, and so on. So these functions are called as trigonometric functions or circular functions. And their inverse functions, y is equal to sin inverse x or cos inverse x, these are called as inverse trigonometric functions or inverse circular functions. So first check what is inverse sine function. This is the graph of sine function. So I'll write here y is equal to sine of x. Now check these angles, minus 3 pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Now in this branch, the value of sine function is minus 1 to plus 1. Check this from this to this. So this branch is related to this minus 1 to 1. Now check second, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. In this set, again the value of sine function is minus 1 to plus 1. So again here I'll write, and again if I'll check this third branch, pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, in this branch again value of sine function is minus 1 to plus 1. So there are infinitely many branches on right hand side and left hand side of sine function whose value ranges from minus 1 to 1, but we will consider this branch as a principal value branch. That means only this branch we will consider, and then sine function is 1 1 and on 2. So consider sine function minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 to minus 1 to 1. Here the function is 1 1 and onto, and therefore its inverse exists, and this is denoted by sine inverse. Then we will write this set here, which is minus 1 to 1, and then write down this angle branch minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And therefore x belongs to closed interval minus 1 to 1, theta belongs to closed interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 if sine theta equal to x. If I'll move sine that side, therefore we have sine inverse of x equal to theta, This theta is called as principal value of sine inverse function. This is the graph of sine inverse function. So I'll write this y is equal to sine inverse of x, and here we will get the principal value of the function. So this branch minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, this is called as principal value branch. One note is there, if sine of sine inverse of x, then you have to write simply x, where x belongs to closed interval minus 1 to 1. This, and sine inverse of sine of y, and this y is angle, so here you have to write simply angle. This angle lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So this is the closed interval. So we have seen that the domain of sine inverse function is closed interval minus 1 to 1, and range is closed interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and this is called as principal value branch for sine inverse. So I have written all principal value branches for remaining inverse trigonometric functions. So check again. For cos inverse, this principal value branch is closed interval 0 to pi. For tan inverse, open interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Now check, there is difference between sine inverse and this. Here closed interval means these also angles lies in this interval. For cosec inverse, the principal value branch is same as sine inverse, only we have to delete 0 angle. For sec inverse, principal value branch is closed interval 0 to pi, which is same as cos inverse, only we have to delete 90-degree angle. And last one, the principal value branch for cot inverse is open interval 0 to pi. So you have to learn all these principal value branches, and the angle lies between in this branch is called as principal value of corresponding inverse trigonometric function. Let's solve exercise 3.3, and our first question is find the principal values of, and first example is sine inverse of half. Now principal value means we have to find angle, and we will find angle from the principal value branch of sine inverse. So first we will write the principal value branch, which so the principal value branch of sine inverse x is closed interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And so first we will assume sine inverse of half is equal to alpha. If this is principal value, then this must lies between this. Then if I'll move sine inverse that side, so we have sine of alpha is equal to half. Now we know that this half value is for sine 30. 30 means sine pi by 6. So here only I'll write sine pi by 6, and this pi by 6 lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and this alpha is equal to pi by 6. I have written here this pi by 6 lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and therefore the principal value of sine inverse of half is pi by 6. Very simple, and you have to solve same the next examples. This is our second example, tan inverse of minus 1. So first we will write the principal value branch of tan inverse, and its principal value branch is open interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. That means we have to check this angle which must lie in this interval. So let's assume this tan inverse of -1 equal to alpha, where alpha lies between this. I have written strictly less than alpha, strictly less than pi by 2, because this is open interval. Now move this tan inverse there, and so we have tan of alpha is equal to -1. We cannot take the angle in the second quadrant because we have the interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And now here minus sign and one value is for tan pi by 4, and we will use tan of minus theta is equal to minus tan theta. So by this rule we can write this as -1 equal to tan of minus pi by 4. So this alpha equal to minus pi by 4. Alpha is equal to minus pi by 4. This minus pi by 4 angle lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and therefore the principal value of tan inverse of -1 is minus pi by 4. This is our third example, and here we have to find the principal value of cos inverse of -12. So first we will write the principal value branch for cos inverse. This branch is closed interval 0 to pi. So first we will assume this equal to alpha. So cos inverse of -12 is equal to alpha. We know that this alpha must lie between this. Here strictly less than or equal to alpha, again strictly less than or equal to pi, since this is closed interval. Now if we will move here, so we have cos of alpha is equal to -12, and we can choose this angle. Now check again, this interval is 0 to pi, so we can choose second quadrant also, and we know that cos of 60, so this minus as it is, and this is cos of pi by 3, and minus cos pi by 3 in second quadrant we can write as cos of pi minus pi by 3, because in second quadrant this cos is negative, and again this is equal to cos of 2 pi by 3. Since this angle lies in 0 to 2 pi, this alpha is equal to 2 pi by 3, this, and therefore the principal value of given example is 2 pi by 3. Let's solve second question. Evaluate the following, and first example is this. Now we have to find out the principal value of this function separately, and then finally we will add up these two angles. We will find these principal values how we have found in the previous question by the same way. We will assume this principal value equal to alpha, and here we will assume this is equal to beta. Principal value branch of cosec inverse is same as sine inverse, only we have to delete 0 angle. So I am writing here alpha belongs to closed interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Only we have to delete 0 angle, so alpha not equal to 0. And so again move this term here, and therefore cosec of alpha is equal to minus root 2. This minus sign as it is, root 2 value is for cosec of 45. So here I am writing cosec of pi by 4, and again we have this is cosec of minus pi by 4. I am writing here cosec of minus theta equal to minus cosec theta. Now check again. Minus pi by 4, this angle lies between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and therefore alpha is equal to minus pi by 4 is the principal value of first function, and therefore cosec inverse of minus root 2 equal to minus pi by 4. See, this is first one. By the same way, let's find the value of second function, and so we will assume this equal to beta, and so we have written here this function equal to beta, where beta belongs to open interval 0 to pi. This is principal value branch of cot inverse, and therefore move this cot inverse there. So we have, and again we know that this root 3 value is for cot 30. 30 means cot of pi by 6, and this pi by 6 lies between 0 to pi, strictly less than pi. Since this is open interval, therefore this beta equal to this pi by 6. So, and beta means cot inverse of root 3, and that equal to pi by 6. So we have found second value. Substitute these two values in our given function. So we have, and cosec inverse of minus root 2 is minus pi by 4, and this is pi by 6. Now here make the denominator same. So we will multiply in the denominator and numerator by 3, and here we will multiply by 2. So denominator will be 4 3s are 12, and here also 6 2s are 12. So we have again, this is minus 3 pi, this is plus 2 pi, and denominator is 4 3s are and 6 2s are means common denominator 12, and so final answer is minus pi by 12. By this way, we have to find the values of given function. This is our second example, and so we will assume value of this function as alpha and this function as beta. So first we will find the value of first function. This equal to alpha, where alpha belongs to closed interval 0 to pi. Now move cos inverse there, and therefore we have cos of alpha is equal to half, and we know that this half value is for cos 60, means cos of pi by 3, and this pi by 3 lies between this, and therefore this alpha is equal to this pi by 3, and this alpha means cos inverse of half equal to pi by 3. So we have found first value. Now let's find second value, which is sine inverse of half. Let this function equal to beta, where beta belongs to closed interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, which is principal value branch for sine inverse. Now move sine inverse here, and so we have, and this half value is for sine 30, means sine pi by 6, and this pi by 6 lies between this pi by 6 less than or equal to pi by 2. Therefore we can say that this beta equal to pi by 6, and sine inverse of half equal to pi by 6. So we have found the second value of the function. So we have found the value of second function. Now again write down our original function. Now substitute values here. So cos inverse of half is pi by 3, and then plus, then 2 is there, multiply by, then value of this is pi by 6. So 2 1s are, 2 3s are, so that is equal to pi by 3 plus pi by 3, and so again final answer is pi plus pi 2 pi by 3. This is the value of our given function, and by the same way you have to solve remaining examples.